If your Meta ad performance dipped recently, it is probably because of the latest Andromeda update of Meta, which changed the creative engine of the platform for good. Now, this actually exposed many advertisers in the space, and most companies that didn't invest in their Meta team properly were also affected. Thanks to our incredible team, our clients who have been working with us since the beginning of the year didn't get affected at all. And now I'll explain to you why your ad performance has tanked over the last few months. I'll give you 2 playbooks that you can choose to implement, and also will give you hints of our repeatable creative system that works right now across every account we manage. But before I do, let me introduce myself so you know why you should listen to me. My name is Batu and I am the co-founder of Advergent. We are a B2B SaaS-centric advertising firm. In Advergent, we focus on building valuation-focused user acquisition systems for SaaS companies like yours. We're currently managing $50,000 per month in ad spend across our entire portfolio of SaaS companies, along with an advisory board of SaaS executives that are making from $750,000 to $1 million per month in recurring revenue. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, what Andromeda actually is. So Andromeda is Meta's new brain for ad delivery. It's the system that decides which ads get shown to which people. Before this, Meta's algorithm would look at a few hundred ads and pick the best ones to show. Now with Andromeda, it scans thousands and even like tens of thousands of ads in seconds and chooses based on each person's past behavior and interests. Now, also Meta paired this update with their Advantage Plus system, which is now automatically turned on for most campaigns. This means Meta does a lot more decision making for you. It manages audiences, budgets, and placements on autopilot for you. So this means you can't really micromanage your campaigns as you could before. The algorithm now runs most of the process by itself. And one of the reasons they made this update is because they wanted to end the competition of your creatives over the same audience segment, aka preventing ad creators blocking each other inside your ad account. Now, what this means for you if you're a company or a Meta advertiser, basically the game has entirely changed. Instead of relying on clever audience targeting or campaign structure, your results now depend on how diverse and plentiful your creatives are. Meta now rewards accounts that feed it with like variety and wide range of ideas, messages, and styles, so it has more options to match each user that you have to target. But why did they actually change this? Why your old playbook does not work anymore? So the biggest reason for this is that AI actually caused a flood of ads recently. Because everyone now can create hundreds of ad variations using AI, Meta's platform suddenly got overloaded. And that overload actually forced Meta to rebuild how it ranks, filters, and recommends ads. The old ad delivery process simply couldn't keep up with the amount of new creatives. So Meta actually re-engineered the system around creative diversity. So the new algorithm now prefers ad accounts that give it a wide range of creative options, different messages, tones, visuals, and angles. So if you upload new ads that actually sound and look similar, the system runs out of learning material and your costs actually spike. And that's actually why so many advertisers saw high CPMs and lower performance in their campaigns mid-2025. Andromeda started rolling out and the algorithm basically punished repetitive creative libraries. Now, the takeaway is that your targeting or campaign setup isn't the problem. There is not really ABO or CBO discussion anymore. What's the main topic of discussion is your creative inputs. Because Andromeda actually wants more ideas, not more ad sets. So the businesses that adapt by producing more varied and meaningful creatives will see lower costs and longer lasting performance, while those that keep reusing the old structures will actually keep burning money. Now, there are 2 paths that you can follow to win the advertising game in 2025 and beyond. And these are honestly the only 2 ways to adapt to the Andromeda update. Now, both can work, you just need to pick one and fully commit to it. Path number 1 is the volume path. It basically means more ads and more data. So the core idea here is that to feed the algorithm with a large amount of creative content every week. So instead of uploading 3 to 5 ads every week, you upload 30 to 50 new creatives per week. And the reason this works is because the more variety, the more creative variety you give Andromeda, the more combinations it can test. And this way it learns faster, finds winners quickly, and keeps costs stable. And this is actually what Meta exactly recommends in their official update. They even featured a case study where a brand went from like 3 to 4 ads a week to 50 and saw results return to normal. But there are obviously downsides to it, which are it's time consuming and it can actually burn your resources very quickly. Usually creators burn out faster, which is like shorter ad lifespan, and it usually works best for larger teams or agencies with a system for high volume production. Now, on the other hand, the path 2 is the message diversity path, aka working smarter and not harder. The idea here is that instead of flooding Meta with 200 ads, you build your strategy around 15 to 20 completely unique creative concepts each month, and each ad focuses on a different reasons to buy, a new message, story, or an angle. For example, let's say you sell AI SDR powered CRM tool for B2B sales teams. Instead of 15 different hooks about how AI can do the outbound instead of humans, you'd create one ad about AI SDR and your sales team's collaboration opportunities, one about powered up sales process with leakages filled up with AI SDR, one about how AI lead automation helps your sales team keep the CRM up to date, and so on. And each ad tells a full different story about one specific selling point, not just a new hook at the start. And the reason why this works is because each message connects with a different pocket of your audience. Some people care about only getting them to do cold calls, others want those AI SDRs to collab with your sales team, and others about AI automation opportunities inside their CRM. And by giving Meta these different storylines, the algorithm actually can match each viewer to the ad that fits them the best. This creates lower cost per leads, longer ad lifespan, and less burnout. Now, of course, this has some kind of downsides. For example, you'll spend more time thinking about your strategic messaging strategy. It will require strong creative direction, which is like understanding customer psychology a little bit deeper. But once it's built, it's far easier to maintain than the high volume path. Now, in terms of which path to choose, in my opinion, the sweet spot is to go intentional with your testing, which is following the path number 2. And then once you see success, capitalizing more on what resonates the most with the path 1. So you first find your messaging and then you double down on it with the scale approach. And the combination of these two will always be the best solution, in my opinion, if you want to scale your ad spend profitably. But if you need to pick one, if you have a team, editors, and AI workflows in place, go with path 1, which is the volume path. Or if you're a smaller team or solo operator, focus on path 2, which is message diversity. Both actually work. The only difference is the speed versus longevity. Path 1 gives faster feedback but more burnout, and path 2 gives slower feedback but more stability. And honestly, the key here is the consistency. The moment you stop feeding Meta with new creatives, your performance will drop again. So don't treat it as a one-time fix. It's actually an ongoing system that you should feed the ad account with a lot of new ads on a consistent basis. Okay, we're talking about creative diversification, but what does it actually mean for you? So unlike what gurus tell you, creative diversification doesn't just mean having lots of ads. It actually means having different kinds of ads that communicate different ideas to different types of people. Now, here's what that looks like in practice. First off, using different angles. Now, each ad should focus on a different reason to buy. Now, these could be problem and solution, transformation or benefit, story or founder perspective on the tool, social proof / testimonial, or offer or urgency. As you can see, each of these speak to a different motivator or emotion. And by emotion for B2B advertising, we mean logical emotions that justifies the buying behavior. For example, one ad might talk about saving time, another about saving money, and another about making more money. Each speaks to a different selling point or a motivator, as you can see. There's also another method, which is leveraging different avatars, aka audiences, because not every customer thinks the same way. So you can actually pull insights from your reviews, comments, emails, and DMs to identify 3 to 5 audience types. And then you can tailor your creatives that directly talk to each one's pain or jobs to be done. And the third is producing different types of ad creatives. You can mix up your formats to keep your feed fresh. For example, UGC clips, testimonials, demos, VSLs or talking head videos, statics or carousel images. You could also do high production versus lo-fi native clips in your office environment. Each format actually taps into a different behavioral patterns. For example, testimonials feel trustworthy, demo videos give the feel of your platform, polished videos build authority, and images retarget interested people. You can also adapt your creative to different levels of awarenesses. You can use Eugene Schwartz's awareness stages as a guide. For example, unaware means educate them about the problem. Problem aware means highlight pain points. Solution aware means introduce your method, and product aware means show proof and offers. So covering all of these stages helps Meta match the ad to where the person is in their buying journey and makes that advertising experience much more curated. So in short, creative diversification equals to variety in your message, audience, and your style of ads. The more angles and perspectives you give Meta, the more opportunities it has to match your ad to the right person and reward you with cheaper, more consistent advertising results. Now that you understand how Andromeda works and what it wants, here's the system that's been working best for us right now, and the exact same system that we're seeing works across scaled accounts that adapted this strategy early on. Now, first things first, build a creative portfolio, not just ads. You should stop thinking of your ads as isolated pieces. Think of your account as a portfolio of ideas, because each ad should represent a different story, angle, or motivator about your product. When you have 10 to 15 of these strong creative ideas that Meta can rotate, it will actually rotate them intelligently instead of burning one in just a week. And you can also rotate them strategically by creating drastically different versions of them, which we went over them like a few minutes ago. Now, the second is the structure of your ad account for Andromeda update. First things first, you need to keep things simple. What we prefer usually is one campaign per main business objective, aka front-end offer. We usually use broad targeting and let Meta do the heavy lifting. What you can do is you can have two lanes of campaigns. One, a testing campaign for new ideas, and second, an evergreen campaign for the winners that keep performing consistently. And this structure gives Meta the data density it needs to learn faster and deliver cheaper traffic to your website. Now, the third, keeping a consistent creative cadence. Consistency usually beats volume. That's why I usually prefer going for path 2 in the beginning and then switch to path 1. But whether you're doing 50 ads per week, which is path 1, or 15 full concepts per month, which is path 2, the moment you stop feeding new inputs, your performance is gonna drop. So set a schedule for creative production and stick to it, or hire our agency so this can be done for you. And last but not least, watch the backend metrics. Now, Andromeda will optimize for conversions and not necessarily for new customers or users. So keep an eye on your backend. If you notice new customers going down while repeat buyers go up, add exclusions for past conversion events or site visitors, and always optimize for your business's goals, not Meta's definition of success. Now, you already learned a lot about Andromeda update, and now you can implement this yourself or tell your team to do it for you. But if you want to cut the guesswork and hire a professional team that can implement this successfully on an ongoing basis for you, then there's a link down below which will take you to the forum and then a booking page so you can discuss with me how we can help your business. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button below and don't forget to ask any questions in the comment section. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you can keep watching these kind of videos from me. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.